Have you ever met someone who completely vanished while standing right in front of you? Not physically disappeared, but the person you knew just wasn't there anymore. Today, I want to share a story that shattered my heart and changed how I think about memory, identity, and the cruel reality of dementia. Working in retail, you meet thousands of people, but some customers become part of your daily routine. For me, that person was Harold. Every Tuesday and Friday, like clockwork, this elderly war veteran would walk through our store doors with the biggest smile you've ever seen. The man was pure sunshine, always humming old songs from the 40s and 50s, sometimes even singing a few bars when he thought nobody was listening. Harold had this infectious energy that could brighten even the worst days. You know, those customers who make your job feel less like work? He was exactly that type of person. Rain or shine, good day or bad, Harold showed up with the same cheerful demeanor that somehow made everyone around him feel a little bit better about life. But Harold had one consistent problem that became our little routine. His wife would send him shopping with handwritten grocery lists, and her handwriting was absolutely terrible. I'm talking doctor's prescription level illegible. Harold would shuffle up to my register, pull out this crumpled piece of paper, squint at it through his glasses, and give me this helpless look that said everything. So I became his unofficial grocery translator. We'd stand there together, deciphering whether she wrote bread or beans, whether that scribble meant milk or meat. It became this sweet little ritual between us. He'd chuckle about how his wife had beautiful handwriting when they were young, but arthritis had turned her penmanship into what he jokingly called ancient hieroglyphics. Through these grocery decoding sessions, I learned bits and pieces about Harold's life. He'd served in World War II, met his wife at a USO dance, and they'd been married for over 60 years. He'd talk about their garden, their grandchildren's visits, and how his wife still made the best apple pie in the neighborhood. These weren't long conversations, just friendly small talk while we figured out his shopping list, but they painted a picture of a man who'd lived a full, happy life. Then Harold stopped coming. At first, I didn't think much about it. Regular customers sometimes change their shopping habits, move away, or find different stores. After a few weeks, I started wondering if maybe he'd moved to a retirement community, or if his health had declined. I actually found myself missing our little grocery list detective work. Months passed without seeing Harold, and I'd mostly stopped thinking about him when one afternoon the store door chimed, and there he was. Same friendly face, same cheerful demeanor, walking through the entrance like no time had passed at all. My heart literally jumped with excitement. I was genuinely thrilled to see him again after such a long absence, but something felt different immediately. Harold approached me with that familiar smile, but instead of pulling out a crumpled grocery list, he did something completely unexpected. He asked if we were hiring. He wanted to apply for a job at our store. Confused, I asked why he needed employment. Harold's response stopped me cold. He explained that he'd just returned from the war and needed to earn money to support himself. The war? As in, he believed he'd just come home from World War II. In his mind, it was still the 1940s. My stomach dropped as the reality of the situation hit me. I gently asked about his wife, hoping to ground him in the present. Harold's face lit up as he told me she'd moved to Sweden for safety during the war, and he was waiting to reunite with her. The pieces clicked together with devastating clarity. This wasn't the Harold I knew anymore. Standing there, looking at this man who'd been such a bright spot in my routine, I realized I was witnessing something heartbreaking. Dementia had stolen Harold's recent decades, leaving him trapped in his teenage years. The loving husband, the regular customer who hummed cheerful songs, the man who joked about his wife's handwriting, all of those memories and experiences had simply vanished from his mind. Before I could figure out how to help or what to say, Harold headed toward the door, probably to look for work elsewhere. I watched him leave, knowing that the person I'd enjoyed those small interactions with was gone forever, even though his body remained. I had to excuse myself to the back room, where I completely broke down crying. The grief felt overwhelming and confusing. I'd only known Harold as a customer, through brief, pleasant exchanges, yet losing him this way felt profound. It wasn't just sadness for Harold, but for his wife, for their family, and for the cruel way diseases can erase entire lifetimes of memories and relationships. That experience taught me something important about human connection. Even brief, routine interactions can create meaningful bonds. Harold's cheerful presence had impacted my days more than I'd realized, and witnessing his mental disappearance forced me to confront how fragile our identities really are. Sometimes the most devastating losses happen while someone is still physically present. And sometimes caring about people, even in small ways, means accepting that saying goodbye isn't always a choice we get to make.